Have you ever wished you could just upgrade your own mind? Well, today we're going to dive into how you can literally hack your own brain to unlock its full potential.
So first up, let me ask you something. Do you think your brain is more powerful than the world's fastest supercomputer? I mean, really think about that. Can the 3 pounds of stuff between your ears actually compete with that kind of tech?
Well, the answer might surprise you. It is a resounding yes. In fact, it's not even close. The way your brain processes information is so incredibly complex, our best technology can't even begin to keep up. Okay, so what is this superpower we're talking about? It all comes down to one incredible truth that scientists now know for sure. Your brain isn't static. It's not a fixed thing at all. Now, to get how this works, we got to take a quick tour of your personal hardware, right? Think of it like a user manual for the supercomputer inside your own head.
All right, so on the big picture level, it's actually pretty simple. You've got the cerebrum. That's kind of like your main processor, the command center for all your big thoughts and decisions. Then there's the cerebellum, which coordinates all your movement. And of course, the brainstem, which is basically on autopilot, handling all the stuff you don't even think about, like breathing. Super important.
But look, that's just the basic hardware. The real magic, the secret sauce to this whole thing, it's happening at a much, much smaller level, in your brain cells. We call them neurons. So let's zoom way, way in. Get this, you have almost 90 billion of these things. That's billion with a B. And every single one is like a tiny little processor, all firing off signals to each other at lightning speed. It is the most complex network we know of anywhere. So how do they talk to each other? Well, they use these powerful chemicals called neurotransmitters to control how you feel and what you do. You've probably heard of some of them, right? Dopamine, that's the chemical that gets you motivated, pushing you towards a goal. And serotonin, which is all tied up with your feelings of happiness. It's like you have your very own chemical control panel right there in your skull. Okay, so we've got the hardware, we've got the chemical messengers. Now it's time for the main event, the ultimate brain hack. This is the secret, the one concept that lets you take control of that insane 90 billion neuron network. And it all starts with this idea. Just let this sink in for a second. Your abilities are not set in stone. The whole idea that you're just good at one thing and bad at another, it's a myth. Your talents, your skills, your intelligence, none of that stuff is fixed when you're born. So how is that possible? Well, it's because of this incredible process that scientists call neuroplasticity. And folks, this is the hack. It's this simple but mind-blowing idea that your brain can physically change. It can actually rewire its own connections based on what you do and think and experience. This is so important. So listen up. You are not just using your brain, you are actively building it every single moment. Every thought you have, every action you take, it physically changes the structure of your brain. The sounds you're hearing from me right now, the screen you're looking at, they are all causing tiny physical changes inside your head. You are literally reshaping your mind as we speak. Okay, so this is where it gets really exciting, right? Because knowing this isn't just some cool science fact. It's basically an instruction manual. So let's talk about how to put this into practice, how you can actually upgrade yourself. So if your experiences are what rewire your brain, that means you can actually direct the process. It really boils down to 2 incredibly powerful steps. First, consciously choose what you experience. You decide to learn a new language, your brain gets to work building the wiring for that. Second, you have to intentionally train your focus. Why? Because wherever you put your attention, those are the neural pathways that get stronger. And the payoff for doing this? Well, you can literally train your brain to learn new skills faster, to stay focused in this crazy, distracted world, and to build the mental habits you need for success. And this isn't just a theory. There are famous studies of London taxi drivers who had to memorize this incredibly complex map of the city. You know what? Scientists found that the part of their brain responsible for memory was physically bigger than in most people. They literally changed their brains through practice. So let's bring this all home. If there's one thing you take away from all this, it's a message of pure empowerment. You are not just a passenger living inside your own head. No way. You are the architect. And I mean that literally. This isn't science fiction. It's proven science. You have the power to mold your own brain's physical structure. Just like a musician practicing scales or that taxi driver memorizing streets, you can strengthen the connections you want and need, and you can let the ones you don't use just fade away. You're the one in control. And that leaves us with one final, very personal question. Knowing that you are the architect of your own mind, what will you choose to build?